What would happen if someone took a hard, honest look at your brand?
I'm so excited to learn all about what I don't know about my brand.
Your website, your social media, and everything else in between.
I would just love to crack that code of what is going to make my business really stand out, attract those people.
Then told you what's holding you back. Liz, I said dream big. Let's go bigger. What is your absolute stretch goal? That's what I'm thinking of. That's what I'm doing today with my guest, Liz Pipitone.
I really wanted to be in the strategist seat rather than in the doing seat.
Who has a content repurposing agency. You're not a doctor doing surgery on somebody. They don't need to know they're surgeons. They do need to know they're content strategists who's struggling to get the right clients and stand out. I'll be breaking down Liz's brand piece by piece. There's definitely a corporate feel. You're talking around your audience right now and give them real feedback. No fluff, no filters, because that's what she asked for.
Oh, gloves off, go all out. I can't wait to hear everything you have to say.
And I'm going to show them where the gaps are and how to fix it.
It's been something I've been ignoring for so long.
If you ever felt stuck in your business, this episode is for you. Let's meet Liz Pipitone. Before meeting Liz, I asked her a few questions to understand a little bit about her business, her goals, her bigger visions. Let's take a closer look. Okay, Liz has a business called Navigation VS. Navigation is a content repurposing agency that helps established businesses maintain a consistent, top-tier online presence through efficient social media and blogging services. Okay, I'm already a little confused about the kind of services that she provides and the kind of businesses that she helps. So she uses very precise wording when it comes to describing what she does in her business. Definitely a strategist, I can see that. She mentions that some of the niches that she focuses on are business to business, Christian businesses, and businesses such as techs, banks, lawyers who need content repurposing to communicate their very complex topics. Okay, now we're getting to the bottom of this. She repurposes very complicated content and language into something that can be a little bit more mainstream. I'm very curious to know what systems she has in place and how her brand is actually communicating that level of service to her ideal clients, because her ideal clients are quite broad and there might be a way to niche it down without specifically saying, hey, banks, hey, lawyers, I work with you. There's a complete different way we can brand this. She mentions that her main goals in her business right now is to hone in her agents' trustworthiness, interesting, and industry positioning and establishing her personal brand. So it sounds like she probably doesn't have a personal brand. And if she's worried about trust, I'm curious to know how she actually shows up online and if that's a true reflection of who she is and what her story actually says about her as an individual. She has big goals on launching a course in 2025, and she wants her team to be able to confidently and efficiently maintain their own social media and online presence for businesses who are not ready to work for her done-for-you services. So it sounds like she's ready to start working on other parts of her business when it comes to services. Now, before we do that, we definitely have to shape up what her brand is looking like before she can attract both low, mid, and high ticket clients within her business. If her brand is lacking in any shape or form, it's going to be difficult for her to have that system locked down before this big launch. She mentioned that one of the biggest challenges she's facing with her goals is, interesting word, she used the word indecisiveness, feeling too in the weeds to communicate exactly what I'm offering, which is quite interesting. When you're working on other people's content, it's very difficult for you to work on your own brand and your own marketing because your brain is in so many different areas, right? So I'm curious to know how she actually talks about herself when it comes to her work in her business and how she shows up as the boss in her business. Last but not least, has she done any work on her personal brand? Her answer is, I use my personal brand as a portfolio of sorts, mostly on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. She does have a YouTube channel, but she has said it's collecting dust. Oh my gosh. So she might need a restart. And she would like to establish her personal brand as she's working on her course. Interesting. So it sounds like she's very eager to get started on showing up confidently in her business. Let's help her out. Let's meet Liz Pipitone. What's up, Liz? How are you doing? So excited to have you on my show, girl.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to learn all about what I don't know about my brand today.
Oh
This
my goodness.
is so excited. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to see what you have to say about my personal brand. It's been something I've been ignoring for so long. So I'm all wide open to whatever you have to suggest.
Awesome. Well, it's like new year, new you, right?
Exactly. I really feel like that's what 2025 is going to be too. It's really setting up that way. Made some changes in my business, and obviously, this is going to be the start of a brand new personal brand.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Thank you for being a huge part of it.
What would you like me to focus on today?
LinkedIn is my number one platform. That's where most of my audience, who is, in the B2B space, the tech space, those more technical businesses, they would be the ones that would be hiring me. Instagram is more secondary if I really need to start connecting, and I'll leave this up to you with your expertise, like how much I need to connect with people on a personal level if they're going to be taking my course. And one last thing I think that'll give me the most value and might help other people too in the same boat is I need to differentiate my personal brand and my business's brand. How do I make those two things jive and make both strong? So far, they've just been this mishmash.
Let's do a quick vibe check, considering that you want to hear everything that I have to offer about your brand and your business. So, do you want the full-on fairy boss mother? That means no sugarcoating and absolute real talk. Or do you want the kitty gloves on and give you a feather dusting review?
Oh, gloves off, go all out. I can't wait to hear everything you have to say.
Okay, that's the favorite kind because then I have no filters and you have no filters either. So, hey, Liz, I want to see the real you come out. I know as business owners, sometimes we have a persona that we put on. Girl, take off these layers and I want to see who you are in your business. And I want to see the real Liz behind what you do.
So Liz Pipitone out of New Hampshire. It's in the northeast of the US. I run an agency, a marketing agency. I've been doing it since the start of COVID, so almost 5 years now. Have some subcontractors helping me out, and we make content for mostly B2B businesses, give them monthly packages of content. We focus on content repurposing. So we're just all about helping them be efficient and to get more out of what they're investing in. So their marketing doesn't take up all of their time and energy, which for many folks and business owners, they probably have experienced it can have the tendency to do that.
Hello, everyone needs you. Everyone needs the work that you do. Absolutely, because content is so difficult to do, especially because there's so much of it and there's so many different platforms for you to be on and stay on top of. What's the story behind why you started it? Because content repurposing, that's a very specific niche, right? So
yes.
How did that even come about?
Absolutely. So I started off just as a virtual assistant, just kind of doing all the things. And throughout my, experience getting my hands into all the different facets of working online, projecting a business out there into the online space, I just really started noticing how you can either choose to reinvent the wheel every time you do something, or you can work efficiently. You can create systems. You can identify things that you can reuse, pick apart. You don't need to be constantly reinventing the wheel, wasting time, money, energy. So I really developed that system where we can try to help businesses manage that more and not let it just take over.
But why did you pick this specific business? Like, what was the thing that said, do you know what? That's the business that I'm going to start and pour all of my sweat, blood, and tears on. Like, I want to find out the real, driving force behind you doing this.
Okay. All right. So I really wanted to be in the strategist seat rather than in the doing seat. That's why I migrated away from just, making the posts, and doing the VA work. I wanted to move up to where I can talk with the business owner, pick their brains about their business, plan with them. We do an intensive, 2-hour planning session and plan out 3 months of content and just really get into that strategy, quarter by quarter. And then I hired, subcontractors to help me with that work so I can stay in that seat driving the agency. I think that it happened by chance that I fell into the B2B space, because when you're in the B2C space where you have to constantly make new TikToks and, have up-to-date, to the minute trends, it's harder to repurpose that. It makes more sense. It's a better fit for B2B businesses that have evergreen content that we can repurpose that on an ongoing basis.
Okay, so let's talk about that repurposing. What exactly are you repurposing? I know there's a lot of content out there. Is it videos? Is it another blog? Like, let's talk about what the day-to-day behind the work that you do, Liz, as a strategist.
The business has a weekly podcast, or they have a monthly YouTube video that they put out. Maybe they have, a weekly blog. Whatever it is that they have, they can deliver that to us. We break it down into, systematically into what they need for their little bits of content to sprinkle out across all their platforms on a weekly basis. And we kind of follow that recipe for what we need throughout the quarter.
I'm really putting you in the hot seat now, Liz, because there's so much information coming out of you.
Yep.
If you were to give me an elevator pitch, hi, I'm Liz, this is what I do. Can you do it in 10 seconds? I'm going to time you. Okay.
Good challenge.
Okay. You ready? 3,
Sure.
2, 1.
Hi, I'm Liz. I have a content marketing agency. We think outside the box by helping you magnify your message online, doing more with less content.
All right. Good. You
How'd I do?
10-second timer. Very good.
All right.
So one thing I noticed, Liz, is you say we. Who's we?
I'm the business owner. My husband came on board with me 2 years ago. We've got up to 5 subcontractors at a time. It really just depends on the business's needs, who I'm serving, and what types of writers we need, what types of, creators. Do we need video creators or social media post creators? It's whoever happens to be there in the season.
I'm going to use that later on, because I think that's a really important point when you're saying we, because there's a very big difference between saying we as someone who owns a business and we as a collective team. So let's put a plug in that one, okay?
I love that.
So I think this is a really great foundation for what you've built. Obviously, you're doing really, really well, Liz. So I really want to learn a little bit more about how your brand actually shows up online, starting with first impressions, because, hey, you get a very small amount of times. I mean, the fact that I gave you 10 seconds to give a pitch and you stuck with it, awesome. So tell me about your ideal client. So when they're looking for someone like you, right, do you think they might check out your website and your social media to really get a sense of who you are as a business owner?
Yes, I think the first contact that they would have with me would be through networking groups, word of mouth, introductions, via email. And then they would go and look for me on LinkedIn and then check out my website from there. That tends to be the normal flow of things.
Imagine I'm Googling you. So I'm a new client and I found you on LinkedIn and I'm like, okay, I don't know who this Liz person is. I'm going to check you out. So I Google you. What do I find? What do you think I would find? And what do you hope I would find about you?
So I hope that you would find some features where I've been, featured on podcasts or, co-written blogs that really put me as in the tier of industry experts, content repurposing strategist. That's where I want to be known, that I understand, how to get the most out of your content marketing. And I've had a lot of experience with different businesses, from startups all the way up to very large corporations.
Should we find out what the Google internet says about you?
Yes.
Let's have a look. So
it'll be interesting. I don't think I've done this for years.
Oh, it's a good thing we're looking at it now, especially, with the new year and everything.
100%.
Liz Pipitone. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Crossing fingers.
Well, that's good. That's you, right? Yep, that's your Instagram. Okay, and next your LinkedIn comes up. So your social media is very prevalent.
Great.
So do you write for Medium, or did they publish something about you?
I have a platform on there. I've just published a couple pieces. I definitely could use to update that. There's only like 3 or so.
Okay, that's not bad. Okay, so there's not too much other than your social medias. Let's go to the next page. And then your website. Oh, your website's coming up on the second page.
Oh, good.
It should come up on the first page.
Okay.
That's something for us to look into.
Good to know.
So
Oh,
you've given a testimonial to somebody else.
correct.
All right. Does any of this surprise you by any chance?
Not maybe a little bit. Let's see, because I often mix in my brain my business and my personal brand, and I think I just expected there to be more things about my business that popped up first, like you said, website for navigation on the first page, and I think that's some of the clarity that I'm going to definitely gather today is should I be popping up when somebody looks at me, or should it be my agency?
Mm, good question. So this is what I'm seeing. So a lot of it's you. And hey, good news, Liz, not a lot of people share your name. So you can totally own your personal brand
Perfect.
110%.
Great.
Because
Awesome.
because you're not sharing your name with like a big name or a celebrity or someone who can completely, authorize that name and own it as theirs.
Awesome.
Except
Never
for,
thought of that. Good point.
so I know that's not you, but that is
That's
definitely.
not me. I think I've commented on her things. That's Heather Moynihan, another content
Ah,
person.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you don't have a lot of competition online with your name.
Okay. I
So
think I'd like to see more of myself in business pictures as opposed to my family pictures. I mostly use my personal Instagram to just show how I know how to make reels of different formats and whatnot. So I use personal pictures and videos for that.
with that in mind, let's let's check out your website and your social media.
Great.
If someone was checking out your website for the first time, what do they see, right? So I'm going to look at this from the eyes of your client. So here it is, navigationvs.com. So the first thing I notice is with your logo, you have a tagline called virtual solutions.
Mhm.
Why did you pick that?
Because when I started out as a virtual assistant, I didn't know which direction I wanted to go. I'm a very multi-passionate person. I didn't know if I was going to want to, be a web designer or to be a copywriter or what. So I picked a very nebulous name on purpose so I could have a website, built once and a logo built once, and I wouldn't need to rebrand if I changed my company name.
Is your company called Navigation Virtual Solutions then?
Yes, it is.
It
Yep.
is. Okay.
So the way I leverage it now is I say I help you navigate the online space, I help you navigate digital marketing, that type of thing.
Okay, so cool. So that word is very much part of your vocabulary when you're explaining what it is that you do.
Yep, I definitely do that.
I love seeing your face on the hero page. I'm just going to read this out loud. So when it comes to content marketing, you want a top tier online presence that magnifies your message online so you can increase visibility and serve more people. What I notice here is you mentioned online presence twice. So clearly that's a very important part of your business.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
just looking at the homepage, what I'm not seeing is who is your target audience? Like, who are you actually talking to?
Okay.
Right?
Good point.
Because when I look at this, it does feel very corporate, especially with the name Navigations Virtual Solutions.
Mhm.
But you have such a warm, lovely smile. It's very inviting. And I'm thinking, I want to get to know this woman, but I don't know who you are yet.
Yep.
I don't know who you're serving yet. You help with online presence, I guess. So I think we need a little bit more clarity. What is the problem you're fixing, Liz?
I love that. So I'm helping them with their online landscaping, essentially. I'm helping them look good online. I use that metaphor a lot. If a business's online, presence looked like the storefront and they, didn't have anyone coming to mow the lawn or trim the hedges and it looked overgrown and like you shouldn't even go in there, that's what I try to fix. I try to make them look as good online as they do in real life.
But that's using content, right?
Correct. Yes. Consistent content that attracts their ideal clients into them.
So I think from my point of view, I think what we need to do to change just the header and the hero description is saying something like, we repurpose content for you so you never have to touch it ever again. Something like that, something big, something bold, something brash.
Sure. Okay. So
Because
more concrete.
yeah, absolutely. Nothing fluffy, something direct, because that's going to draw people in to go, what does content purpose mean? And then you can talk about, this is what we do. This is what content means. This is why content is important because it increases your visibility. You have more consistency. You get better leads, traffic stopping, online presence. So there's a reason why you do content repurposing as opposed to recreate all of this content for you.
All right. I love that. So really point it out in the very first part.
Absolutely, absolutely. And also, yeah, high volume, high quality content. So this is getting all a little bit more of the nitty-gritty of how the process, right? How the meat is made.
Yes,
I
exactly.
want to know who's running this show, because there's a picture of you right there, but I'm thinking, okay, who is this wonderful woman?
Who is this?
Right,
Okay.
who is this? I'm scrolling. Might watch a video, maybe not. It's great you have a video. Scroll. There's no mention about you, Liz.
Okay. All right. That's so funny. I used to, but about a year ago, I'm like, my homepage is too long and I took it out.
Ah, yeah. It doesn't have to be very big, but I think if you're going to show
Mm,
up 100%.
okay.
And I think this is where you might have an issue or a bit of a challenge with what is my business brand and then what is my personal brand and how do the two come together, right?
Definitely.
Based on what I just shared with you right now, does this align with how you want your business to feel?
I want my business to feel like they can have confidence in we know what we're doing. So hence the, almost the corporate, vibe there. The colors I chose and my mood board way back when, I really went with like calming pictures, almost zen-like ocean wave pictures. Like I just want them to come here and be calm because these people are stressed out. It's either a business owner who has no time to think about their social media, or it's a marketing manager who doesn't have resources. They're exhausted and they just need calm and peace and someone to take some of this off their plate.
And here's another thing that I'm noticing. So you mentioned the we aspect, right? It's
Yes.
not just the Liz show, it's Liz plus your husband, which is super important. Let's not ignore the critical part that your husband plays, because you've given him the title CFO.
Yes, I
He's not
have.
just an administrator, right? He's actually doing other things.
Yes. Yep.
And of course, plus your team, because content repurposing takes a lot of work, and business owners know this. The other thing that you can mention is, you know what? This is not a one-woman show. This is a husband and wife team coming together.
Yeah.
And that's how deeply married you are to this business.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I like that next level of trust and,
Yeah.
support there.
Like you guys believe in this so much that you decided as a couple to come together to form this business. That speaks volumes.
Love that. Oh, good point. Okay.
And I think that's where you can comfortably talk about we. So it's not just the team, because of course you'll always have a team of people. Even if you're a solopreneur, you still work with people.
Mhm.
But it's a difference between saying my team and I versus my husband and I plus my team.
Okay. I can hear the difference.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
taking full ownership of that. When you look at your website now, from that perspective, Liz, does it
Mhm.
feel like it shows the best version of who you are?
Honestly, I've been bored with it for a while and I don't have a deep graphic design background. So I would love to see it come to life more. I would love to have it be more standout. I think the reason I haven't done that is because I don't know how to balance the keeping it corporate, keeping it professional to attract those fintech companies or, lawyers that need, content repurposed, things like that, the really hard niches. How do I balance that with it being interesting?
Yeah, I think your Instagram is going to answer this question. So let's quickly pop over there /navigation VS. So please do follow Liz. And then Liz's personal Instagram is instagram.com/Liz Pipitone, Pipitone. That has like a nice ring to it. Pipitone.
Yeah, it's very musical.
Very musical. All right. So why do you have two Instagrams?
It all comes back to my conundrum of,
Okay.
not quite understanding me versus my business, trying to make a presence on both. For navigation's Instagram, I don't get a lot of leads from here for navigation, to be honest, because again, it's more of a B2B business. LinkedIn is the place. I cross post my LinkedIn posts over to Instagram and Facebook. So it's really more or less a catch-all, to be honest. And I'll occasionally try to put in some funny things there, try to put in some me talking to the camera so that people can get to know me. But yeah, it could use a better strategy for sure.
Hey, so I've got good news for you, Liz.
Yeah.
See the 701 followers that you have?
hmm
Girl, those are your leads. These
hmm
are people who like, trust, and know you already, even if they're not actively engaging with you. And what you can do, you can actually like go through this list and see who are your ideal clients, who are the people that you can be talking to, and even like direct messaging them, because they're already here. They're
Mhm.
waiting for you to do something with them, even if it's just to say, hi, thank you for following me.
All right. I love that.
Considering that we've just highlighted that this is a husband and wife team, it
Mhm.
would be absolutely amazing to not make this the list show, put your husband there too. So clearly feature that this is, sorry, what is your husband called?
David.
David. Okay, so this is Liz and David's child.
All
This is
right.
their business. Have a picture of the two of you. And then
Okay.
that way you can totally own Liz and David Pipitone, content repurposing strategies for B2B.
Okay.
It does have a very corporate feel to it.
Mhm.
Why did you decide to go corporate rather than, this is my business, I'm going to put myself in there, this is my personality, because you'll be hiring me to work with your strategy?
I think part of it is I have an easy time doing this for other people, but it's hard to do it for myself because I'm so in it. Um, I was afraid to be too open to B2C, honestly, and not have businesses, again, that were like, banks, established law firms, things like that, that would be hiring me. I didn't want them to think I was too focused on, mommy bloggers or things like that.
That's definitely all to do with messaging. Because
Mhm.
if you wanted to attract the mummy bloggers, you'll definitely be showing up more with those mum vibes, talking more about your kids and business all together. But that makes you more relatable, Liz. The fact that you do have a husband who is working with you. So that's an angle that you could talk a little bit more about without alienating your audience,
Okay. Okay.
right? Even if it's with the lawyers and the doctors and whoever, they will be able to relate with the stories that you're sharing and saying, hey, there's a real person behind this business. And I
Mhm.
still kick ass with what I do. Like, I am so good at what I do. All of the things that you're seeing online, I'm just showing up and sharing a little bit more about me so you can trust me better.
I can probably go a little bit less corporate, a little bit more familiar.
Yes, a little bit more. Who actually is Liz? Who is Dave? Why are they working so hard for me right now?
Okay. All
Right?
right.
It's definitely a different vibe when you talk like that. At the end of the day, Liz, you're not just connecting with yet another business, you're connecting with a person behind that business,
I love it. Okay.
right? And the same applies to you. They're connecting with a real person. So they want to be able to see, of course, you're going to be professional. You're going to stick with your timelines. Whatever you promise and you deliver, or maybe over deliver because you're that good.
Mhm.
And they're going to keep coming back to you because you are so good at what you do. That's going to be the reason why they come back to you. That's your professionalism.
Okay.
But
All
your
right.
brand and the way you show up as yourself, screw the professionalism. You're not a doctor doing surgery on somebody. They don't need to know they're surgeons. They do need to know their content strategies, because at the end of the day, your clients will need to know, number one, does Liz and Dave understand my business? Do they
Mhm.
understand the people that we are trying to get leads and get connections from?
Mhm.
And three, will they do a good job for me and I'm not wasting my money?
Okay.
Okay, so let's think big for a second, Liz.
Yeah.
If everything fell into place,
Mhm.
where would your business be in 5 years? Like, what does success look like to you in your business?
Mm. It would be larger, but just as simple, I think. I'm very much into simplicity. That's a huge vein of everything I do for my clients and how I want to run my own business. Keep it minimalist, keep it lean. Don't overcomplicate things. Don't make things fluffy. So it would mean probably having, double, triple the client amount that I have, increasing the number of subcontractors and having a thriving online course going alongside of those done for you retainer packages that I currently offer.
That's the big dream for your business, to get
Mm,
more retainer clients, to get this course out so you have more of a passive income stream, right? In your business.
yes. Yep. And a lot of the people that would be taking the course, those are people that can't yet afford the done for you packages that I offer. There is a chance that those people, those businesses could migrate into my retainer offering.
Awesome. So let's talk numbers. How many people do you want in your course versus how many people you want as retainer clients?
Good retainer client load, I would say, would be around 10 to 15 clients for the larger, longer term scale. Five to seven is a good number right now, with a smaller amount of subcontractors that are working for me. And for the course, I think having it be a more white glove course rather than a very low price point course that's just a quick in and out and doesn't get results. I'd rather focus on high quality with perhaps a higher dollar amount. So 30 or so people in the course, I think it's a great start.
Liz, I said dream big. Let's go bigger. What is your absolute stretch goal? If you were to, so everything's fallen in place, right? You're getting a ton of leads. People love what you do. People believe in the work that you're doing. You have a ton of testimonials, great case studies, like that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
Right? You're not stressing about money anymore. What's next?
Oh, wow.
That's what I'm thinking of. Like, not the itty gritty. I need business to keep running so that I can keep doing the things that I'm doing.
Okay, so hiring some business managers, hiring some project managers. I would say the course could grow to, 100 people or more, and that the online or the ongoing clients, I'd say maybe, 20 to 40, and just keep it in there, depending on the season.
So do you have a dream of owning a big marketing agency then? It sounds like you're going the agency route, like in terms of your growth.
I love being the one who's doing the strategy and, having other people deliver the content. So if I can just kind of stay in that realm, maybe hire a couple of strategists who are very much aligned with me to help me with that. I can see the agency route, really going, especially with how things are going with the AI tools that are coming out. It's constantly changing. There's just more and more that we can leverage, not to use in place of humans. That's not my own personal direction that, I want to take this business, but there's just always something new on the horizon that we can use to get more efficiency and better results for the clients.
Let's talk personally, right?
Yeah.
Personally, that dream that you just shared with me, what does that actually mean to you? Does that mean more freedom? Obviously more clients, but is there something else behind that?
I think that the big thing is focusing on, my family. I want to find a way to not work much more than 25 to 30 hours a week. Put my family first. I've always been open to homeschool. I have 3 kids. So yes, and we all love camping. So we love to spend family time together, especially over the next decade before they all are grown and, maybe leave the house. This period of time, I want to have my business be the machine going in the background that, I'm a part of at the helm, but I don't want to be consumed by it for 60 to 80 hours a week.
Oh, no. And then why is this dream so important to you to make it happen? Like, what would achieving this like challenge in your life right now do for your actual life?
I think just the ability to have freedom, be my own boss, set my own schedule. Someday love to be a full-time RV person. So having a full-time, completely rearrangeable, business that I can take anywhere is definitely something long-term for me.
Oh, that sounds awesome. So hold on to that.
Okay.
So do you feel like your current brand is actually helping you get closer to that dream of being on the RV and just setting off into the sunset with your kids? Or do you feel like it's actually holding you back right now?
It is in its infancy, I think. The first 5 years has definitely been trial and error and had many different iterations. I've gone into different little niches to try them out. Like I said, web development, things like that. So I'd say my 5-year mark is coming up in July. I want to make 2025 be the rebirth of the business, how it's going to be, how it's going to be able to grow. It needs to get past its diaper stage.
Yeah, yeah, especially because you were a VA before.
Yeah.
It still has that VA vibe. So this is probably a really great time for you to think about rebranding and rechanging some of the ways that you work so that you can get closer to your RV dream, Liz. Let's
Yes.
get you closer to that.
Love that.
So let's bring you back to where you are right now, right? As we're talking. So imagine you just come across your dream opportunity, whatever that may be. Think about what that is. Like Liz is on the market for an RV. So do you feel like your brand is helping you stand out and attract those opportunities? Or do you feel like there's something missing right now?
Definitely the latter. It's bland. It needs something. I'm not that graphic designer that knows what it needs, but it just needs something to stand out and to have a personality.
Yeah. So I think you're on the right track. Like 5 years in business, doing what you're doing is absolutely amazing. So that's a lot to celebrate, Liz. I think what's missing in your business is definitely you and your husband. There's definitely a corporate feel. It does feel like the messaging is a little all over the place because you're not directly talking to your audience. You're talking around your audience right now, at the moment. And the fact that the family aspect of your dream is such a big part of you, I think we need to bring that to the surface, because the more you manifest and talk about, this is the dream that I have, I need to make that happen, and you're pulling it back into your business as an anchor, that is going to take you places, girl. And people are going to notice that confidence that you have, the reason why you are working so hard in your business and growing those opportunities. It comes with the energy that you give out. And that's where your personal brand is going to be super important. When you start to show up a little bit more intentionally, talking a little bit more about why you do what you're doing, and then talking about the client results and success that you've got for the people that you're working with, that is going to have a domino effect in your entire business. That all starts with your personal brand.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm all ears.
So I think with the right adjustments, it could be a tool that works for you, not in the future, but every single day starting today. And it's going to bring you closer to those big goals. So the longer your business stays the way it is, you may find that it's going to take you a little longer to get to where you are now, because like you said, the last 5 years was a lot of trial and error. You don't have time to work on that trial and error. You want to get bigger, better clients. You're talking lawyers and people, high flyers of society who have big agencies, but they are very time poor.
Yes.
But they have the budget to pay for what you are asking.
Yes.
So we need to start attracting them right now to make that RV dream come true. Now, how does that make you feel when I say it back to you?
So happy. I love the financial freedom, the lifestyle freedom goal. That's where I want to be. And I would just love to crack that code of what is going to make my business really stand out, attract those people. And I would love to stop just kind of doing my own hamster wheel of content, as oftentimes the cobbler's kids have no shoes. I feel like I definitely need more of a strategy for myself rather than putting it on the back burner. I want to be focusing on those things, like you say, that are going to just move the needle. And I'm focusing on the right things to make my brand stand out.
Yeah, absolutely. So if there was one thing that you could change right now, like the biggest thing that's holding you back at this present moment, what would that be?
I would say I've gotten really clear on my ideal client. I've gotten really clear on their pain points. I've gotten really clear on what I deliver, how I deliver it. I think it's my online presence needs a sparkle, and it needs to show up in a better light. And so I can really shout it from the rooftops, more confidently.
Now that we've gone through everything today, so that we're wrapping up very quickly now, your brand, your goals, and the steps that you need to take in order to get to your big dream. What's next for you? Do you feel like you have the tools to fix the problems that you have in your business, or do you feel like you need a little bit of guidance to help you along the way so that the process is a lot more smoother for you?
I can do things online, very handy with websites and, graphics, if I have the recipe, if I have been, given the directions, the brand guides. I'm definitely missing that big piece right there. That's the bridge I need.
Awesome. And if there was one thing that you learned from the Fairy BOSSmother today, what is it about your business?
I think that there's a lot of more hope than I thought. That sounds so desperate, and it's a terrible way of putting it, but I'm
Good.
more.
I'm not a downer. That's good.
You're absolutely not. Like, I just am definitely more encouraged. That's the right way to put it. By the prospect of where it can go, and just I feel more confident about some of the little changes I can make right off the bat, and they'll make an impact.
Yeah, absolutely. And Liz, of course, we want people to find you and work with you. So what is the best way to get in touch with you?
Absolutely. So Navigation Virtual Solutions, that's my business name, Navigation VS. is my handle across Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and send me a DM. Let's connect.
Absolutely. Well, Liz, it was so awesome to have you on the Fairy Boss Mother Show. Hopefully the criticism wasn't too scary because you asked for full on. Girl, I gave you full on. Is there any last thing that you want to share before we say goodbye?
Oh, this has been so helpful. I really appreciate all the insights that you have. And just thank you for what you do, helping people just realize the potential of what it is they're working with and where they can go.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, thank you so much, Liz. I cannot wait to see your new year and see what you get up to. We will definitely be in touch. And yeah, I'm looking forward to your evolution.
Great. Thank you so much.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Fairy Boss Mother Show and you're a small business owner, apply to be a guest on the show and get your very own live brand review for your business. You can apply by going to my website, www.bossdiplomat.com, or snap the QR code on this video. See you soon.